Hi, it's Kane Hodder, Jason from Friday the 13th. You're watching Slash and Cast. Keep watching, or I'll kill you and your whole family.
What's going on, horror fans? Welcome back to another episode of Slash and Cast. My name is Riley. That is Nick. Before we get things started, always got a few announcements. Little Mad Podcast. All right, I know you've been missing it so goddamn much. Speaking of which, if you haven't been missing it because you haven't seen it ever before, go watch it, twitch.tv/Little Mad Podcast. But yeah, we're thinking about doing something because we'll be in Scarefest this weekend, so we're thinking about doing something there. But if not, the week after that should be back for sure. We have good plans for it, though.
Yes.
We have things that we have scheduled out just to keep falling apart.
Yes.
Other than that, all links indeed in the description. That includes Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Reddit, links to sponsor or be a member, as they call it now in the YouTube world. Also, merchandise, website, things like that. Go crazy. With that, let's dive into our first topic of the day, that being Halloween. All right? Now, we're not going to talk about the trailers. At least not very much. We did a full breakdown in the first trailer. Well, not the second trailer, the American trailer 2.
Yes.
And there was an international trailer that everyone's freaking out about because it showed a ton of footage. We're going to do a video that'll come out later this week that it's a reaction video, so-called, but really we're going to be pausing throughout it and discussing what we're seeing and just breaking it down completely. So if you're interested in that, make sure you have notifications on.
Right.
You know?
It's going to be a little different.
Yeah. Hopefully, we like doing stuff like this. Hopefully we can push more to that format.
Right.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how you like it. But yeah, the international trailer is crazy, so if you haven't seen it and you don't mind spoilers, because I'm telling you, there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to go check that out if you haven't already. The Brazilian trailer.
Yes.
But I think the important thing to talk about right now is that Halloween did officially have its first premiere. People have seen it, all right?
Yes.
At the Toronto International Film Festival, and overall, the reviews are decent. People were freaking out all over Twitter saying this is a Halloween sequel you've been waiting for. There's nothing even close to it so far. And for a while it said at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now it's up to 26 reviews, which there are some negatives, okay? It has an 82%, which if you don't know the math, that's 23 positive and 5 negative reviews. And all the negatives seem to to me it seems like people that might not like horror films all that much.
Yeah.
Or they're just like kind of nitpicking. But it seems like people that just don't like sequels, which I get it. There's going to be people that hate this film because it's just another Halloween film at the end of the day.
Right.
There's things like, this is from A.A. Dowd, who is a top critic, a very good critic. This is their sentence here. This is their top quote here. Just another pale imitation, another bad Halloween sequel, watering down the fear factor of the original. He gave it a C. So,
Ain't that bad.
I take that. You ride that to the degree,
Right.
C's get degrees. It's things like that. It seems like nothing can ever live up to the original. I think we kind of need to close just block that off. Like, if you're expecting to see something that's going to live up to the original, you're not going to get there, I don't think.
Right.
But people were freaking out saying there's a great reason to actually remake this film.
Mm-hmm.
It answers up to Halloween 1 and 2 the way it should. And for the most part, we're seeing good things. The other one I want to look at for positive-wise is from Katie Walsh, another top critic out there. So for all the deep and fascinating semiotic analysis of the film, also just another great Halloween movie. That's all I need to hear. I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going no matter what. I'm going to see like 6 times.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, 82% across 26 reviews, that's not that bad. You can't really break down Rotten Tomatoes reviews, and you can't hold them to your heart because at the end of the day, it comes down to how you feel about the film.
Right. The fact that it is R-rated, though, at an 82% is very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, R-rated films just tend not to do very well.
Right.
Especially in theaters. I'm really curious of how it's actually going to gross.
Yes.
We'll talk about the Nun later, actually, just right after this, and how much money it made.
Right.
And people were, it was projected that Halloween's going to make between 50 and 80 million on its opening weekend. It's not it. All right, it's not going to break. If it beats it, that'd be insane. Because it, I think, made 125 million opening weekend. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But could you imagine a slasher film opening up to over $100 million
in 2018?
In 2018, that would be insane. I couldn't imagine. Like, you know how many sequels are going to happen if that happens?
Right.
Or like how many? Once Halloween's going to be a situation where it's going to be ripped off again. 40 years later, it's going to be ripped off again. There's going to be a whole bunch of people just remaking the same thing.
Right.
That's where we're at. It's good to see it's good, though. Because, like, H2O came out with bad reviews. The original Halloween 2. Halloween came out with bad reviews.
Yeah.
Man, it wasn't until Roger Ebert reviewed it that it was garbage. Everyone hated it.
Yep.
And now here we are today, 40 years later, and still getting more sequels.
Right. And, you know, the success of this, I mean, box office-wise, just rating-wise, will help, you know, these franchises that we love get their reboot, get their remake, get their sequels.
Right.
F-13, Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, you go see it. Make up your own mind.
Right.
That's what's most important.
Right.
I can't really give an opinion on it until I see it. When I have to wait, because I couldn't go to Toronto because I'm poor. That would have been so cool. Oh, yeah. That would have been so cool. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to how you think, and it seems that Halloween fans, true Halloween fans, are loving it.
Yeah.
So I think we're in a good spot.
That have seen it. The Halloween fans that have seen it are loving it.
Yeah, so we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
You can't trust critics. Sometimes you can trust critics. Yeah, Halloween still looks great. Like I said, international trailer reaction thing sometime later this week. But with that, let's move on to our next topic, The Nun. All right, The Nun, everyone's talking about. This is actually, The Nun's been living in the shadow a little bit of Halloween, or Halloween's living in the shadow of The Nun. These are the two horror films that everyone's talking about in 2018.
Right.
And The Nun proved why, because it made $53.5 million in its debut weekend. That's domestically, and $77.5 million overseas. So The Nun has earned $131 million worldwide.
Opening weekend.
Opening weekend. That's fucking ridiculous for a horror film. That is so much money. And the fact it only had a $22 million budget, so they're just sitting here rolling in money.
Yeah.
Insane. Insane that it made that much money. It also pushes the entire Conjuring series up to $1.33 billion, which puts it just over the R-rated Alien movies, not counting the PG-13 Alien vs. Predator.
Right.
But whatever. So it is now officially, the Conjuring universe we got here is the biggest R-rated horror series of all time. I don't think it's fair to call it that, just saying, because it's not a series. I get it, they're in the same universe,
right? But
if you take all the Marvel films, does that count as a series?
Box office wise, yes, but
it's interesting.
But personally, no.
I mean, yeah, it's not. So, another R-rated film making money is interesting. Because really, it wasn't until like Deadpool was super successful that it wasn't even talked about. Then our minds are blown again when it made that much money, and now you just have some random, actual just ghost story making that much money.
Right, and we've reported on this. We're like, oh, we'll see. I mean, Annabelle, and then we get The Nun. Hopefully, it can not be garbage.
Yeah, I am a little upset with what I'm seeing in terms of reviews.
Yeah.
Like I said, it comes down to how you feel about the film.
Right.
It's no one else's opinion matters except for your own. But right now, it sits at a 26%. From critically, it sits at 26%, and then even from the audience score, it sits at 48%.
Right. Now, of course, I always try to make my own opinions, but there are certain people that I know that I feel like we have similar tastes. Mm-hmm. So I read their reviews of The Nun, and I think I would like it. I think it's about a 50%. That you're still liking it.
Yeah, you 50-50 shot.
Right, right. So I think personally, based on my taste, I think I would enjoy watching the movie.
Just going off of what I've seen from trailers, it looks interesting. I think they're actually relying on some strong suspense. But you had that strong suspense that we saw in trailers, and they do shit like the jump scare previews that they were doing, where it's just a loading or the volume button, and then it pops out at you. Same with the shit they had in Snapchat. Like, I don't like that. That's not good horror. And if that's the road they were going down, which it's way different than what the trailers show, but that's actually where they went with the film, then I'm not going to like it. Reading some of the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, it looks, people, it's their opinions. They say that is, that's what they saw and that's what they felt. So that kind of sucks. Yeah. The good news is about all of this is that R-rated horror is still a thing. Right. And horror can still make a lot of money. So it's not going to go anywhere. And you're looking at a future that's going to probably bring a lot more R-rated horror, because we went on about a 10-year span of just PG-13. Yeah. And pretty much the only R-rated horror films that were making money was the Conjuring franchise, and they were rated R solely on scares alone. Right. There wasn't nudity. There was minor blood. So, R horror hasn't really been a big moneymaker. Right. Halloween actually is probably the one that changes that starts the turn. Starts heading that direction. Hopefully. Yeah. But on another note, another movie that's going to make a ton of money. And it's going to be rated R. It Chapter 2, okay? Now, we will see the highly anticipated It Chapter 2 in September of 2019. The sequel script will once again be penned by writer Gary Dauberman, who also wrote the Conjuring spin-offs Annabelle Creation and The Nun. All right. Annabelle Creation's decent. Don't know about The Nun, but now, Dauberman is he's a rising name in the horror community, and he is set to direct Annabelle 3.
Yes.
But during a recent interview with Slash Film, Dauberman was asked if Chapter 2 would wrap up the story, or whether New Line wanted to leave room for a future follow-up. And Dauberman said, no. This is a complete story. The ending, I think, will satisfy the audience and maybe break their hearts a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, just setting us up for failure.
Right. At least it's not going to be dragged out by the studio. At least the studio won't say, you know what? Let's make this, the adult side, into a 2-parter. So 3 total.
Yeah, don't do that shit.
Right.
Like, you don't need to drag it out that much. This is one of the reasons that people have been kind of nervous about Halloween, too.
Right.
Which is why I think remember when the ending got revised? I think that's why. I think there was a huge cliffhanger there to lead into a sequel.
Yeah.
It's like, just give us a good story. Focus on that. If we want another one, we'll fucking let you know.
Right.
All right? But, yeah, so it's not being dragged out. That's good. But in terms of the book, okay? I'm going to give you some spoilers here on the book. So, sorry. All right? If you don't want to hear spoilers from the book or what maybe is going to happen in Chapter 2,
right.
Turn it off. All right? Just stop watching. Skip like whatever time.
So, we'll get a timestamp somewhere to skip to.
Right. But not all the losers survive in King's book, okay? But diehard fans would go in expecting those same losers to die.
Right.
Yeah, so you would expect that, right? Now, with that in mind, one wonders if Dauberman has some tricks and plans to kill off some fan-favorite losers that no one will see coming.
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. How else are you going to break your heart?
Right.
What? I mean, come on. You gotta leave some shocks in there. The first chapter to it followed the book pretty closely. I would say probably more closely than like Tim Curry
miniseries.
Yeah, the miniseries. So maybe now it's their time to finally separate a little bit and give us some shocks. You got to do that.
Right. And like you said, it's a complete story. Are we gonna get there's no Chapter 3?
Yeah.
They could all die for all we know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That Suicide Squad.
Oh my god.
Rogue won it.
Oh wow. That would be I don't even know if that'd be sad. Would that break my heart? It's just like, that's riding off in the sunset. I didn't cry at the end of Rogue One.
I did.
I cheered. Because the movie was over. I was but, I don't know. I'm excited to see where they're going to go with it.
For sure.
Because it was, because I've read the book a couple times, and going into the first one, it's like you kind of see step for step what's coming, except for the scares. You're just kind of following along with it.
Right.
So hopefully, it's a little spiced up a little bit. Spiced up. With that, let's move on to the next topic. This is an interesting one. One that I'm still on the edge with. Okay, now Jordan Peele is in talks to remake Candyman. Now, Bloody Disgusting reports that Jordan Peele is in talks to produce a remake of Candyman through his Monkey Paw Productions.
Wow.
Yeah, hold on, we'll get into it in a second. Now, it's unclear if he plans to direct it, but it is Jordan Peele, the guy to revive the franchise, as the franchise has been dormant for almost 20 years, which is really weird to think it's been that long.
Right.
Now, Jordan Peele won an Oscar earlier this year for his Get Out screenplay and was nominated for Best Director. He's currently filming a social thriller, Us, while his Monkey Paw Productions is behind a remake of The Twilight Zone, The Hunt, and Lovecraft Country.
Right. He definitely should have won Best Director.
I think, I don't, yeah. Yeah, the screenplay makes sense to me.
For sure.
More than anything else, but yeah. That was a big year. There was a lot of competition.
Yes, there was.
So,
yes, there was.
The fact that he pulled off anything for a horror film is impressive.
Yeah.
So, now it would be pretty cool to see Peele to capture that essence of horror, like, from the original Candyman. But, I mean, Candyman is arguably the scariest icon of all time.
Right. You take a poll of people that have seen... I mean, not a lot of people have seen Candyman.
Yeah.
But you poll the people who have, that your results will say Candyman is the scariest.
Hey, Tony Todd's just a scary dude, man.
He's huge.
He's huge. And he's got a really, really scary, deep voice.
Yes.
And he could kill you.
Yeah.
It's real, man. Like, when we did that photo op with him in costume, no, that's not fucking with that guy.
No. Couldn't even think about it.
Urban legends in general usually freak people out. Those
Yes.
are the ones that usually stick with you. And
Yes.
the fact that they took this really scary icon and moved him into like a Bloody Mary legend, it'll mess with your head.
Right.
So I don't know if it's something that should be remade. or is worthy of a remake, and to the point, like, is there something actually there that needs to be fixed or changed to be better in this generation of people?
Right.
And I don't know if that's the case, especially like I just said about Urban Legends. I don't know if that fits this generation in so much.
Right. I mean, when you remake, you want to put your own spin on things. You don't want to shot for shot it.
Right. You don't need another Psycho.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. I always forget he's in that film, and it hurts every time.
Yeah, it's a shot for shot remake, and there's nothing truly wrong with it, but you want to put your own spin on a film.
Now that movie sucks.
You want to change. You want to change. I mean, yes, taking it shot for shot like Psycho. You take, the masterpiece that Psycho is.
Yeah.
You want to do it shot for shot to truly pay homage, like 100% homage.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That film, because once you mix up the cast too, it's just, if you're gonna do that, don't fucking touch it. There's nothing that needs to be changed in terms of like, oh, we have better CGI now. I feel like that's what they do with Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think that's why it failed so bad. It's like, hey, we have computers now. We have the technology. We can make a better film. And it's like, no, you can't, because you're just wasting what is so skillful about the original.
Right.
It's just gone.
So yeah, is Jordan Peele the guy to remake Candyman?
If they're gonna do it, if they're actually going to jump into a remake for Candyman, I would like to see Jordan Peele take it. I think he's someone that will actually take it seriously,
right? And
he can put an interesting and political spin on it without throwing it in your fucking face.
Right. That's what he did with Get Out.
Yeah, like he could do it the right way. The guy's creative.
Right. He's on board to produce. No word if he's writing or directing at this point.
Yeah.
If anything, I hope he can write it.
Yeah. Same. If he's willing to touch Twilight Zone and play with that,
right,
I think Candyman could squeeze in there.
Right.
I don't know. It'd be cool, but it also just scares me. All remakes freak me out.
Right.
Sequels too. That's why I was scared for Halloween. Now I have some faith. Now, our last topic of the day. This is an interesting one because they lied to us. They said it'd only be one time and one time only. All right. Now, back in July, Shudder brought iconic horror host Joe Bob Briggs back to television with a 24-hour last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs, which was so successful it damn near broke the internet. There was a big horror meme going on. It's like, wow, he did it. He broke the internet. It was like Kardashian that one time when her ass was all over that magazine. Yep. Good times. They promised that Joe Bob would be back for more, and indeed, he will be, okay? Now, Shudder will bring back the iconic horror host for Thanksgiving and Christmas specials to be titled The Dinners of Death and A Very Joe Bob Christmas. Additionally, also, a full-on, ongoing regular series is set for 2019.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, it is good to see him again. Joe Bob Briggs, he's going to Scarefest, is he not?
Yes,
We're about to meet this guy.
Yes, we are.
Wow, look at that.
Yes, we are.
He's hilarious. He's easy to stay up with, and I don't know how to explain. Joe Bob Briggs is so funny, and I love that he has the biggest set of balls ever. Like, he'll say the most controversial things, be like, "I'm not sorry for what I said."
Right.
Like, you gotta love the guy. He fits right in. Now, he did say back in November they're turning back Friday into Red Thursday with the best deadly dinner movies in history, and in December we have a very special way to fill that void felt by American households ever since ABC stopped airing The Nester and The Long-Eared Christmas Donkey claymation specials.
Oh, do you remember that?
I mean,
of course that was before our time, but
yeah,
but we're retro guys over here.
Yeah, we've seen some things that we probably shouldn't have seen.
That the references that he makes as well is they're perfect.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He really is.
The Dinners of Death, though, is scheduled to air on Thursday, November 22nd, followed by A Very Joe Bob Christmas on Friday, December 21st. Both marathons will be streamed live and feature films handpicked by Joe Bob himself, with special guest stars and Joe Bob's signature brand of drive-in, deep dives, and commentary.
Like we said, we love retro shit.
Yeah.
We love everything about that. The last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs was just so cool to us, from the production value to the commentary itself.
And then the guest stars he brings on are actually legit too, because they watched Sleepaway Camp in that first marathon, and Felissa Rose came on, and it was hilarious. It was a perfect combo to mix with, and it's just a very special thing. And the fact that we're gonna be able to see it so consistently again, is a great thing.
Yes.
So, Joe Bob Briggs, my God, he's back. I wonder how much he's gotten this. How long is this series going to run?
I hope it lasts as long as it can.
And when Joe Bob Briggs, back in the day when he used to do these drive-in scenarios, he it would be like all night things. They would always be like running marathons. Like he went through all the Friday the 13th film, things like that. And it's like, is that what the series is going to be, or is it going to be like one film a week? I'm really curious where they go. And also, is it going to be something, because Shudder has a lot of advantage here because they have a live stream going on at all times of films that they're picking. If they stream them live and do one episode at a time, I think it would be cooler instead of like posting all of them at once.
Right, kind of like how Hulu is doing with Castle Rock.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we like is experiencing shows and movies with other people, which is why we do movie nights in our Discord, join the Discord. It's like when you get to sit there with other horror fans that cared as much as you, I think that's really special. So to be able to, what if like Shudder could do a live chat like during the premiering of all these things?
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. I
think about it.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Just saying, Shudder. Just go for it.
That'd be so cool.
So I don't know. Having other fans experiencing with you is a special thing too. Yeah. So we have the technology. If you're gonna remake something, you gotta do it for a reason, right? That's what I said. All right, well, that is going to wrap up Slash and Cast today. As always, if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn notifications on so you don't miss a video or a stream in the future. Like I said about the Halloween Nights trailer, that'll come out later this week. I didn't mention at the beginning, I forgot. We have a different switcher today. It's my brother, who I haven't seen in a long time. So if he sucks at it, let him know. As always, if you have a different switcher, let them know they suck. Nobody said Levante sucked last week.
That's true.
Or 2 weeks ago.
That's true.
So
we need more. We need feedback.
We need feedback. We pay these guys a lot of money.
True.
And if they don't deserve it, if you don't like it. Okay, let's wrap this thing up. You got a hashtag?
I guess hashtag Nestor the Christmas Donkey. It's a long one. I could have threw in long-eared too.
Nestor the Christmas Donkey. All right, well, with that, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Editor, roll that outro.